Yo, what's going on, guys? J.Yumeko here, and today we're back with some more Cinderella phenomenon. I know in the last video I said I was going to have an upload schedule, but some things have been going on around my life here, and there just has not been a lot of time and not a lot of privacy to be able to record these very lengthy videos for you guys. But yeah, and before we get into this one, I just want to let you guys know that if I sound a little bit off, it's because my throat is fairly sore at the moment. I think it's just an allergy thing, so hopefully it shouldn't last too long. But yeah, let's jump right into it. Alright. The ball is just about to start that evening, and I have been asked to make sure none of the guests are lost and wandering the hallways. I've been walking around for a while, directing any late guests in the right direction. That should be everyone. As I turn the corner, I notice two people lingering by a column. Excuse me, the throne room is... I pause when I look more closely at the two men in front of me. I recognize one of them instantly. Why am I not surprised? What is that Alcasta doing outside of the throne room? And who is that man he's with? Ah, Yumeko. Sir Alcasta gestures me towards him, and I approach warily. This is Varg. God, I don't know what voice to give him. This is Varg. He's one of the guests for the ball. That is a very, gruff voice, Jesus. Varg sweeps aside his cape as he bows, and I curtsy and tip my head to hide my expression. I've not heard of Varg, and why would he be bowing to a mere maid? Also, why is he wearing such an elaborate costume and mask? This is not a masquerade ball. If Varg is an acquaintance of Sir Alcasta, there's no telling what or who he truly is. Varg is one of the suitors of Princess Elaine. Would you please escort him to the throne room? I will be along shortly. Varg's politeness is even more suspicious. Of course, Sir Alcasta. I meet Varg's gaze briefly and cannot help but frown at the way he's smirking at me. This way. Varg and I make our way towards the throne room. I cannot help but feel wary of the fact that he's following behind me where I cannot see him. If the maids are this lovely, the princess must truly be beautiful. Varg laughs and I grit my teeth at the sound. What? It was meant as a compliment. There's no need to look at me like that. Varg looks at me curiously. Are maids not allowed to speak in this place? I have nothing to say. Not the most cheerful person on staff, are you? Thankfully, the doors to the throne room appear as soon as we turn a corner, and I do not have to come up with a response to his words. We're here. I gesture toward the throne room and he moved to leave, but Varg's voice stops me. You should at the very least escort me inside and introduce me to the princess, don't you think? Isn't that what a maid should do? Technically, that is the announcer's job, but Varg came so late he probably already missed the introductions. I wouldn't want to think badly of any of the servants at the palace. I take a deep breath to calm myself before turning towards the doors. Follow me. I can tell the moment I step into the room that the official introductions have already passed. Most of the guests have already begun to mingle and scatter across the throne room as the band sets up. No one notices when I walk into the throne room in front of Varg. I do not trust Varg, not if he's associated with Sir Alcasta. Oh my god, I blew my nose and now I cannot hear. Everything's muffled. Ooh, okay. Warn Rod or warn Emmeline? Huh. I might have time to warn someone about him while he's distracted. But who? This is a hard one. I mean, I feel like it's obvious to go with Rod, right? I've been overthinking so many of these choices that I've messed up. So we're just gonna go ahead and say, okay, let's go for Rod. My eyes fall on Rod. I notice that he's leaning against one of the walls away from the crowds. I head directly for him, moving quickly so that Varg is not right behind me. Rod. Rod frowns at me as I come to stand in front of him. What?
There's a man here called Varg. I think Sir Alcaster brought him.
Sir Alcaster?
Apparently Varg is one of the suitors for Emmeline's hand.
Rod glances past me at Varg, his eyes narrowed. Is that him? Is that Varg? When I turn back and follow his line of sight, I almost gasp in shock. Varg has bent over one of Emmeline's hands, clearly having just pressed a kiss to the back of it. You should have kept him away from Em.
But...
Ooh. Okay, we fucked up. We fucked up! We fucked up! Hold up! Yes. Alright, well. Damn it, I can't win. I cannot win. Like, I try and think about it and I mess up. I don't think about it and I mess up. I just cannot fucking take a dub.
My attention is so quickly drawn to where Emmeline is moving between groups of people, introducing herself and making light of conversation. I know this will be frowned upon, but Emmeline's safety must come first. I make my way over quickly to Emmeline, and curtsy just off to the side, trying to draw as little attention to myself as possible. Excuse me. Princess Emmeline, may I have a word? Emmeline is clearly shocked at my intrusion, but she masks it well. Excuse me, it appears my maid has something for me. I draw her close to the walls where the crowd blocks us from view. I wasn't expecting you to be here, Yumeko. Not that I mind, but won't you get into trouble? There's no time for that. I take her hand in mine and I look at her somberly. You have to watch out for this man in a mask. Sir Alcaster brought him to the ball. Why should I be worried then? I cannot exactly tell her that I think he's a witch right now. There are too many people looking. Just please be wary of him. I'm sure there's nothing to be worried about from anyone here, Yumeko, especially if Sir Alcaster's involved.
On the contrary, if Sir Alcaster's involved, I would also recommend staying on your guard, Emmeline.
Rod?
I turn in shock to see Rod suddenly standing beside me. You should trust Yumeko. Excuse me. I jump back at the sound of Varg's voice. Rod takes a step forward and places his hand on my shoulders to steady me. I don't believe we've been introduced. Varg looks at me for a few moments, but I say nothing. He eventually turns to Emmeline, a wolfish smile on his face. My name is Varg, and you must be Princess Emmeline. The tales of your beauty did not do you justice. Emmeline flushes as Varg reaches for her hand. He presses a kiss to the back of it, still grinning. I can feel Rod tense behind me. May I have the first dance? Emmeline bites down on her lower lip as she stares at him. I become acutely aware of just how quiet the throne room has become. Ooh, I mean, like, I don't know, man, maybe she's into him. She's biting her lip, getting all flustered. Or maybe she's just embarrassed that people are watching. She cannot refuse him with so many people watching her. I feel sick, but cannot bring myself to say anything more as Emmeline puts a hand in Varg's. I accept, Lord Varg. Varg is such an ugly name. Like, you know they're gonna be like a fucking jackass of a character when their name is Varg. The moment Emmeline makes her way to the centre of this dance floor, a man signals the band and the musicians start playing. This feels wrong. I can only nod as I watch Varg pull Emmeline closer. At first it is just he and Emmeline dancing, but then other couples gradually trickle in to join them. I do not like this at all. Rod and I watch in silence as the first dance continues on. I know for a fact that Rod must see the dreamy smile on Emmeline's face as certainly as I can. When the music stops, both of us move as one toward Emmeline. Even though the dance is over and Varg has released her, they still stand close together in the centre of the room. The silence is interrupted when the double doors open and Sir Alcaster, along with two knights, stalk into the centre of the room where Emmeline and Varg stand. Their arrival causes an uneasy stir in the crowds. The king rises from his throne, eyebrows drawn. Alcaster, is there some kind of disturbance? Alcaster says nothing as the knights stationed around the room approach Emmeline and Varg and stand around them, encircling them. Emmeline's expression shifts from confusion to fear. The crowd becomes even more anxious. Alcaster, explain this! Alcaster briefly glances at him, but says nothing. He turns back to his knights and snaps his fingers. The knights pull out their swords and point them at Elaine. M! I reach out to grab Rod's hand before he can make his way towards her. Rod, it's too dangerous. I know, but thoughtless actions have the potential to put Elaine in even more danger. Rod's only response is to tighten his grip on my hand. I place my other hand over his to reassure him, and slowly but surely his grip begins to loosen. I turn my gaze back to the king.
Arcaster, stop this immediately! What do you think you're doing? Something I should have done a long time ago. I have been nothing but loyal to this kingdom, and all I have ever wanted was for Angel to thrive. But ever since the Queen died, this kingdom has become weak. It is because you are a weak ruler, Gennaro.
What?
The people were more productive back then, more disciplined during the late Queen's reign. The kingdom has become less productive without fear to drive them. And then when there is power, there is order. Power is not something that should be needlessly used to control people. It is used to protect them. You of all people should know that.
Sir Alcaster shakes his head.
I, of all people, know that order is what makes a hierarchy stronger. I am only doing what is necessary. I am reorganizing the system. Hand over the crown, Gennaro.
Sir Alcaster turns his head to Varg, who remains standing beside a scared Elaine.
You will obey me if you do not want your precious daughter harmed.
Please, leave my daughter out of this. Elaine steps back, her eyes now brimming with tears.
Varg, seize the princess!
As soon as Sir Alcaster gives the order, Rod immediately lets go of my hand and rushes towards his sister. Rod, no! I quickly follow after him, but Rod suddenly stops in his tracks. I bump abruptly into his back. Rod!
Varg!
Sir Alcaster's booming voice echoes throughout the room, which has suddenly grown eerily silent. My eyes move to Varg, but he is standing motionless. What is happening? Finally, Varg smirks. He steps to the side, standing in front of Elaine as if to block her from view. Sir Varg.
You must be delusional, old man. I'm not letting you anywhere near the princess.
Dun, dun, dun. The knight's next moves are blurred as they rush at Sir Alcaster. In mere moments he's been disarmed and pinned to the ground. Several more knights have also appeared from behind to surround Sir Alcaster. A man emerges from in between the circle of knights. He moves to stand beside Varg and Elaine. Sir Mithros looks at Sir Alcaster disdainfully.
What is the meaning of this, Mithros? We had a deal!
The anger is now palpable in Sir Alcaster's flushed face.
Did we now? Mithros, explain yourself.
Sir Mithros drops to one knee in front of the king. Of course, Your Majesty. He raises his head slightly to look at the king. I have known for a long while that the man you see before you is a traitor. I was even aware of his plans, but I could not tell you of them without any evidence. 2 of your knights had tried to inform you of these plans before, but we all looked down on them with disdain. I had to make sure that I did not come unprepared like they did.
Jurian and Garland.
What? Both of them knew of Sir Alcaster's plans? Was that the reason why they were dishonorably discharged? For false accusations? I knew enough of his plan that I could thwart it. This is why I thought the best way to reveal his dastardly plans was to craft a fake alliance with him. Sir Varg and I have been working together to unravel Alcaster's plans, Your Majesty. Varg is an invaluable accomplice. Wait, so Sir Mithros has been pretending to work with Sir Alcaster this whole time? And so he had arrived at the event tonight. I apologize for undertaking this task without seeking your counsel, Your Majesty. But I can think of no better way to end this madness once and for all.
You lying snake!
Sir Mithros stands and turns to Alcaster. He gestures at him dismissively. Seize him. The knight's next movements are a blur. The men rush to Alcaster. Oh, I guess. Huh. I don't know whether this line is supposed to be before or after. Repeated lines.
Isn't Sir Alcaster a witch? Why is he not using his magic?
Mithros, I am indebted to you for saving us. The whole kingdom is.
I only did what was necessary, Your Majesty. The king glances at the knights, then at Sir Alcaster, his gaze steely.
Take him away.
Sir Alcaster struggles uselessly against the knights as they drag him away. He's nearly out the door when he starts screaming at the king.
Gennaro, you're a fool! That man is a witch! A snake! You cannot trust him!
No, Alcaster. I was wrong to put my trust in you. Even as Sir Alcaster is pulled from the room, we can hear him babbling in the hallways about a witch. Sir Alcaster never used any magic to escape. Was he truly not a witch? Are you alright, Princess? I'm pulled from my thoughts when I hear Varg's voice. He's now trying to comfort a shaken Emmeline. For a few moments he looks away and his eyes meet mine. He smiles, but it is fleeting, and moments later his attention is back on Emmeline. Damn. The ball comes to an abrupt end after Alcaster's stunt. He's thrown into a jail cell and promised a trial after a few days' time where he will be tried for treason against the kingdom.
I still cannot believe Sir Alcaster would do something like that, and so brazenly too. I wonder what happened to Sir Fitzgerald. They say he vanished completely last night. Do you think he was working with his father? The truth is that I have no idea what to think. I had thought that I had everything figured out, but now I become more and more confused by the moment. Fritz was always loyal to a fault, but then Sir Alcaster was the same way with the king, and I have not seen or heard of Fitzgerald for weeks. Oh, is it just Fritz, or is his name Fitzgerald? I think I said Fitzgerald or something like that. My bad. I cannot really say.
Ah, good morning, Princess Emmeline.
Sir Varg.
Varg was offered a room at the palace for a few days' visit. He's being treated as Sir Mithros' valued guest. I've heard from the other servants that he is Sir Mithros' relative who lives in a neighbouring kingdom.
I hope that you're feeling well now, Princess.
Yes. Thank you for your help last night.
Is Emmeline blushing?
I know I won't be here long, but I do hope to get to know you better during the duration of my stay.
I would love that.
Then I'm looking forward to spending more time with you.
Oh, I forgot that I'm meant to be in my mother's room right now. Yumeko, Sir Varg, I'll see you both later.
I curtsy as Emmeline walks off, leaving me alone with Varg. I cannot help but feel uneasy in his presence. Something about him puts me on edge. He makes me feel uncomfortable. Excuse me, I have errands to attend to.
Wait. Before you head out, I have something to give you.
Give me? Varg reaches into one of his pockets and withdraws a letter that he holds out to me. Oh God. What is this about?
Well, I guess you'll have to open it to find out, Princess.
Dun dun dun! My blood turns to ice in my veins. He knows I'm the princess. That can only mean he's... I have no idea what you're talking about. Excuse me. I'm about to leave when Varg suddenly grabs my wrist.
The play is just about to start, Princess. You have a responsibility as the main character to perform impeccably until the very end. Otherwise, well...
He grins at me, and it's the same wolfish smile that he flashed at me during the ball.
You might miss out on your fairy tale ending.
What? Before I can say anything else, I feel a hand grab on my other arm. Someone tugs me back and away from Varg, then comes to stand in front of me.
Stay away from her.
Rod! Varg looks at Rod, then at me, his smile growing more crooked. What an interesting turn of events.
I wonder how this will end for the both of you. Tell me, Yumeko, what is he to you?
Okay. Well, obviously we know what the hell my boy is to me. He's a friend. God damn. Ooh, but see now, God, this is where I'm starting to overthink things. If I say he's a friend, then maybe he's gonna be like, oh, I guess she only saw me as a friend and not as a lover. But if I stay quiet, then it might just be like, oh, well, you know, she doesn't even know who I am. Oh, fuck, we're gonna say he's a friend.
A friend, you say? Is that what he really is?
Yes.
Yeah, see, look, that's what I'm saying. I just want to see. If I chose the other option, what would the difference be? I stay quiet.
No answer. Be in denial all you want. At the end of the day, you're going to have to decide who and what you will choose.
Who or what to choose?
Silence. You are harassing one of our staff members.
Of course.
I apologize for my rude behavior, Your Highness.
You seem to know a lot about us. Are you a... I lower my voice. Are you a witch?
You're asking the wrong person, Princess. Dun dun dun. He knows who you really are. I think you two are worrying too much about me. After all, I'm just a pawn in this game.
Varg dips into an elegant bow and flashes one last smile before walking away. Are you alright? I am. Thank you for helping me.
You know I'd do anything for you.
What?
What?
Rod shakes his head before stepping away. Anything. For me. Rod coughs, pulling me from the thought.
It is possible that he was a witch, or that he's working with other witches, but we have no evidence to prove it. Until we figure out what's going on, you need to be wary of him.
I know. Rod smiles at me gently. The look that makes my heart thud once, painfully in my chest.
Stop staring at me like that.
Rod looks away, his cheeks tinged red. I feel my own cheeks warm at the sight. I wasn't staring at all.
Yeah, boy. Come on, just admit it. Admit it!
Both of you are hopeless.
Shut up, Sebi.
Rod gives me one last look before finally turning and walking away. I place my hand over my chest, where I can still hear my thudding heartbeat. This feeling. If it is what I think it is, then I have no right to feel that way about him. He's my stepbrother.
Yeah, he is.
I shake my head to clear the thought, then glance down at the letter that Varg just delivered to me. There's only one sentence written on it. Come to the throne room alone at tonight.
Uh-oh. The wedding? What? The wedding? Well, who the hell's getting married? Alright. You know what time it is. We're gonna save there and we're gonna go to main menu. Alrighty, well. Definitely an interesting episode today. I really barely even know what to make of it, so... Oh, man. A lot happened. So, Sir Alcaster was working to overthrow the king with Mithros, but Mithros claims that he was only working with him to trick him and to uncover his whole plot. But then Alcaster is saying that Mithros is a witch, and then Fritz is missing, and then this random Varg guy comes along. I mean, damn, dude. And now we're being summoned in the middle of the night to the throne room. So things are obviously going to be reaching their peak in this next chapter, I'd assume. Or at least these next couple chapters. I don't know how many there are. If I had to make a safe guess, I'd say maybe 10. But yeah, that's going to be it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like to see me play next. If you enjoy this series or any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when one of those videos comes out. Anyways, that's it for me.